And welcome back to Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. This is Carol Parisi. Today, Jack Roser and I are speaking with John Bambenek. And John is running for the State Senate District 52. And some of the change that we need...
Which is downstate?
Downstate.
In Champaign and...
Danville.
And Danville. Nice part of the state you live in.
Yeah. So it's got the U of I. So it's a very good. It's actually a very wide-ranging community. You've got university professors, farmers.
Oh yeah.
So it's almost every different distinct community is represented in the district. Even some of the ethnic immigrants that moved over.
Yeah.
You've got a healthy German community, Dutch, Lithuanian. Back when there was mining in Danville. So.
Uh-huh. Well, you got a lot of downstaters and farmers and other to give it a little bit of stability too.
That's true.
So what other things do you, what else is your vision for if you win this Senate seat?
Well, I mean, ultimately, to turn around the state of Illinois, we need to do something about our jobs climate, because we're a net exporter of jobs. Whether it's manufacturing, whether it's tech, whether it's even existing companies that are growing outside of Illinois. Even the Chicago Mercantile Exchange is thinking about locating most of its operations outside of Illinois. Mm-hmm. So when the Chicago Merc doesn't want to be in Chicago anymore, we've entered the bad place. Mm-hmm.
I heard they made a deal with them, though. I heard the city made some kind of deal.
I'm sure there'll be some deal.
Hey, I got a business here, too. And they've been making deals with other businesses and reducing their tax bill or giving them refunds. And what? Well, where's my refund? Why do I have to take their crap with higher stuff? And yet the Mercantile Exchange or others that have got a little more political swat, they're giving their money back. There's something unfair about this stinking thing from start to finish.
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, you've got the big businesses. Motorola got $100 million over 10 years to lay off only 800 people, from their Schaumburg facility. And Navistar got something. We're now bribing businesses to lay off less people than they would otherwise, which means our tax burden is bared most by small to medium business, which are the drivers of economic growth and job growth in any economy. So we're basically taking the established business, throwing money at them to still reduce jobs, but just by not as much, and sticking the tab on small to medium business who would be creating jobs otherwise. And those companies, they don't send out press releases, they don't call the governor, they just pick up and leave.
That's right. These regulations really are burdensome to a small business starting. I mean, you don't have lawyers and you aren't big to get over all the delays that come with the immense number of regulations. If you're in Cook County or especially in Chicago, you better kiss the alderman's twat or you aren't going to get your driveway through the curb or anything else done. The regulations are a form of socialism that constrict businesses at the worst possible time. It's when they're starting, when you don't have a lot of extra money, where you're just trying to eke out the start of a business. So that's what small business is. Maybe as small as a hot dog stand or a restaurant or any other service business or manufacturing. You have limited amount of money, or else you may as well be working for a big corporation.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's the little guy that's trying to get going with a small amount of money. And I know, I did that. And 50 years ago, the regulations weren't as bad as they are now. And now that I'm big, I can outlast them with lawyers and put up with immense delays that the village or the county or anybody else throws at you every time you move. There's some lasso going on you from the government to say they can't do that until you pass and we sell you a permit.
Right.
Well, my company's big enough, we can outlast the rascals. But I've been through it as a small businessman, and I'm a mighty great feeling for the ordinary individual that might try to start a business.
Well, yeah, it was 2 weeks ago I was in Danville talking to somebody, and basically, it was a gentleman who had saved up his money and bought basically a truck, converted it into an ice cream truck to sell, ice cream, like we've all of us have seen in our childhood. Started driving around, the city of Danville stops and says, no, you can't do that. You need to have a $150 a month special use permit. Now, what does anybody get from that special use permit? What service does it provide? Well, nothing. I mean, there's no health inspection. And why somebody who would go to Sam's Club, buy a bunch of ice cream bars, put it in a freezer, and then hand it out to kids for $2, why would they need a health inspection anyway? But it's simply saying, okay, you want to do something, let's find a way to take your money and put it into government for stuff that we can't justify otherwise. And that's the big problem, whether it's on the local, county, especially Cook County, state level. We look at business as a way of monetizing some governmental desire, or some spending project that's unnecessary, that nobody would approve otherwise.
It's control.
Yeah.
It provides, just think about it. If you got all those regulations, they have to have a government employee paid a lot more money, probably more than a poor guy that's starting a business, and he's got to administer all these regulations.
Yeah.
So we've got a whole bunch of our wardens that we're paying to make our life miserable. That's what a bureaucrat is.
And I know, at least in the agricultural community, that's a big thing with environmental regulations, too.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about environmental regulations.